What is up, everyone? Ryan, we're not live.
We're not live? Uh-oh. We're live.
Are we live?
Totally live.
Oh, now it's live on our end.
It was live the whole time.
Was it really? Oh, because it says scheduled. Sorry, everyone. Let's start that over again. What's going on? Now, there it is. There's the red live. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for checking out this fucked up show already.
Not my fault. Not my fault.
No, it must have been something on my end. But hey, we're good now. We're fucking live. Sorry. All right. So again, what's up, everyone? Thanks for joining us for another awesome Action Force live stream where we're going to be going through some samples of Series 3. Woo! I'm excited for this one. As always, I'm very excited to have my partner in crime here on these streams, Mr. LaserPants himself.
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me. Always happy to help.
Let's see. We got a bunch of people watching. Thank you, everyone, for showing up on this Tuesday evening. Probably do an hour, maybe a little more, going through some ladies, taking a look at everything, talking about these new samples that I got in, and giving you guys an inside look about, comments I'm going to be making on them, how they're looking so far, where we're going to be going with them. I've gone through that in the past, but for those of you new to these streams, that's what we're going to be doing. You've seen on my social media, we got some, they are called FEP samples of Series 3 in. And as you can see, we got some in-box samples here. I got some loose figures over here for the other camera once we start going through there. So first, I'll go through the packaged figures, show them off a bit, and then we'll actually get into the figures themselves. So
first, let's get to
we got some super chats coming in that we'll address first.
Tony's still blaming me anyway. Thank you, Tony. And M Vargo 97. Thank you. He says, looking forward to adding these to my shelf. Going to need a bigger one here pretty soon. That's what she said. The pics posted last week looked great. Thanks, M Vargo.
Awesome. Yeah, I know everyone's excited. The fact that we were showing some figures, some impact samples. People were like, "Ooh, are they shipping now?" But no, these are what's called FEP samples. I've talked about it, I believe, on other streams, but I'll go through it again here for you guys. Series 3 is being done at a new factory. I wanted to expand and get more factories in so that we could do, more product, because this brand has been on fire and it is exploding, and I need to keep doing more and more product because you guys keep buying it all. So, bringing on another factory allows us, that opportunity. But the factory we're using for Series 1 and 2, it's a great factory, but it's a much smaller factory. This factory here handles toys for, the 3 major toy brands. So we're at the same factory as the big boys. And they handle things a little differently, like the schedules and the way samples are done and points in the schedule are done very much how it was done when I was at Hasbro. It also helps that my project manager is my same design counterpart that I had over in China when we were both at Hasbro together. So it's cool that we are now working together again because we both left Hasbro. So I'm very happy to be working with my buddy again, because we have the same vision and he's really good at what he does. He's been amazing to have on this project, so it's fun to be working together again. It's like we just kind of fell right back into it again. And so along the way, during the schedule of the production schedule, last time we did this, we had the first shots or test shots of the gray plastic samples, the first run of the plastic figures when they were testing the molds. So normally you have what's called an EP sample in between. EP sample is just a decoed version of that gray figure. So it's basically the gray figure and then with the deco on it. Now, and then after that is FEP, which is the decoed figure in the package. Now, when I was at Hasbro, sometimes we would have the EP sample and then sometimes we would skip EP and go right to FEP if the packaging was already ready. I got the packaging files to them early, so they were able to kind of skip a step. So that this is FEP, but instead of having EP and then FEP, we're going to have FEP1, and then the next one is going to be FEP2. So in about 2 weeks, now that they have all my comments, Joe's comments, they're fixing those things. And then the next round they're going to send to me in 2 weeks is going to be FEP2, which is probably going to be the last round of samples that I'm going to get, which as long as they fix everything that I tell them here, those samples should be the very last samples and everything should be fixed on them. And then that's when you sign off on those and they go into like the full production. And, so things that aren't wrong, they'll go into production now with. And then they'll have that stuff. But things they need to fix, they can kind of stagger it. So these are FEP1s that we are going to go through. Before I do that, I believe we have some more super chats.
We do, yeah.
All right.
Articulated Chad, shout out to him. He has a great YouTube channel. Everyone should check that out.
Yeah, his channel's great.
He stopped by to give us a hell yeah. So
thank you.
Hell yeah. And then
give me a hell yeah.
Cornelius McGillicuddy, thank you. He says, Bobby, can we get some southpaws in the line soon?
Are you the one that is the one person that keeps asking me for them? I know a lot of people are looking for left-handed holsters. It's on the list. It's not high on the list, but hopefully we can get it done for you eventually.
That would be cool. You could have a dude with 2 pistols.
I mean, listen, Pandora has the double holster, so
All right. And Tony Robles, thank you. He says, beautiful stream, handsome men. Agreed. Beautiful figures. Thank you,
Thank you, Tony. Tony, I just boxed up a bunch of your orders today. He had
nice.
You sent a couple hundred orders out today, and he had half of them.
Oh, wow.
No, he had a lot. He's a great customer.
Sergeant Slaughterhouse, Zazel, what's up? He sent a super sticker. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Zazel.
Salvator, thanks, man. He says, Bobby, why come no vroom? It was either that or a joke about a vehicle called the motorboat. Take your pick.
There might be some vehicle news coming out in the next couple weeks. Maybe just throw a little tease out there. And I think you guys are going to love it because I love it. So thank you, Sal.
Thank you, Sal. And we got stupid things jumping on me. We got a Dillinghammism. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
And Articulated Chad once again. Lefties are weird.
Lefties are weird. My wife's a left. She's ambidextrous, but she writes left-handed. I sent her a funny picture that I found on Facebook. It was a picture. It said Happy Left-Handed Day, and it was all smeared because lefties just smear as they're writing. When I was going to art school, I always wondered how there were some people that were left-handed because it's I always drew with a piece of paper under my hand so that you weren't smearing anything, even if you were going back over it. So it's I don't know how they did it,
I give my wife a hard time too. She's a lefty.
Oh, she's a lefty?
All the time, man. Yep. Cato's Collection, another good YouTube channel. He says, I have nothing important to say, but here's $5. YouTube.
Thanks, Cato. Good channel, guys.
And then they're rolling in. And okay, we can skip this one, right?
Come on, man. This is a kid's channel.
I'm moist with anticipation. Let's go. Thank you, Tony. And happy accident with the super sticker. Thanks, man.
Thanks, sir. Another good channel. He just did a good review of the Ramen Toys Silverhawks that I watched today. Another super Action Force fan.
Absolutely. Thank you. Happy accident. All right. We're
all caught up.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So let me go through these packaged samples first. We are going to save Bloody Pandora till the end. She actually needs the most work, but she's the most fun. So let me stack these up over here, and I'll go through them one by one. So first up, we have Ryan, can you make me bigger?
I'll try.
Well, you could have left yourself on the side.
I don't know. Let's see here. Oh,
There
we
we go. Because I don't want everyone to, not see you, especially Tony. So here's our first package sample. This is Eclipse. She looks amazing. So this is the new packaging. Nice. Troy McKee has been doing the packaging for me since the very beginning, and we have a slightly new design for these. We lowered the branding and opened up the window a bit more so that you see about 15% more of the figure, which was a nice change. We have art by the very famous Randy Green. Randy Green is an amazing comic book artist. He did Tomb Raider and Witchblade back in the early 2000s. He's a fantastic artist. Go follow him on Instagram because his artwork is amazing. And he had been one of my favorite artists, like when I was going to comic book school in the early 2000s. So it's kind of crazy that now his artwork is appearing on these figures that I'm doing. It's very, very surreal. I can't really explain it, especially because like he draws traditionally, and I have all his original artwork for all these. So it's like I'm holding his artwork in my hand. I'm like, wow, this is weird, but very, very cool. Here's the back. Of course, always going to have that file card, and there's some of the ladies there, but packaging is pretty much same layout, but just tweak things here and there.
I like that you went from the headshots of the other figures in the wave and went to the full on like artwork. That looks cool.
Yeah, guys, this whole venture here it's still a work in progress. I'm still learning, and the line is still evolving as we go on. So it's like each wave I'm trying to figure out the right things to do, and it's like I'm looking at the way everyone else does their stuff, the way Black Series and Legends, the way Legends does the cross sell with like half a face and a number that corresponds with the Build-A-Figure. Classified does something similar to this, but no file card. So it's like, what's the right move? And Series 1 we had repeating artwork from the file card up here in the cross sell, and I felt like that was just a lot of repeating imagery. And then for Series 2 I went with a more traditional product photography cross sell, but then there were aspects of that I wasn't crazy about, and then I was like, all right, well, let's try just character art and see how that goes. I think there's good points and bad points about all of it, but the line is still evolving and getting better as we go along. So, things are going to change from series to series. I was actually just talking to Ryan about how, there are even aspects of the series numbering and that sort of thing that maybe I would have changed that, but, maybe we'll fix things or change things as we move forward. But again, it's an ever evolving line, and that's what's cool about it, because you can constantly keep changing things about it. The special deployment series, that the graphics on that packaging is so much different than what we're doing in series 1 through 3. We have stuff like the Night Op Steel Brigade, which changed greatly with the all black packaging and stuff like that. So, and then I think for series 4 and 5, we're probably going to do an entirely new package, something totally different, because I think we've had our run with this kind of style, and I think it might be new to cool to freshen it up with something new. So
one more packaging comment.
Yeah,
I like that you can see the figure and all that clear plastic on the front, man.
Look at that.
And look at that. There's not a lot of negative space. Like, it's filled in with tons of accessories.
See that? All those accessories. There's so many accessories you can't even see them all. But yeah, isn't it nice when you can see the figure and not 3D rendered art, and then open it up and find a plastic garbage bag holding your figure between two pieces of cardboard?
If it's the right figure. Yeah.
We're not throwing any shade here. We're not, hey, enjoy my joy. But yeah, listen, we're always going to do this, unless a law happens that says you cannot have plastic in, products anymore. We're going to keep doing it, baby, because it's the way it should be done.
All right. We have got a few super chats here, so let's catch up before this chat jumps. Shindarius, thank you very much. He says, thank Thanks for including more than trigger hands.
More than trigger hands, like
Yeah.
multiple hands. Yeah, we've been doing it since the beginning. But thank you for appreciating it. And thank you for that awesome super chat.
And then Ben Fields, thank you very much. He sends a super sticker. Much appreciated, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
And Yesterland Toys, Neil, thank you very much. He says, nice looking figures, Bobby. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not a super chat, but a good question. Are the firearms slightly smaller for the ladies?
They are not.
Okay.
Because everything is in scale with each other.
All
so
right.
That's the other thing, about like, so moving to another factory. Sorry, I get excited when I see the bots in the chat because I feel like I've made it. When you're like, yes, I got bots in the chat.
I mean, are you tired of being alone?
Are you?
They'll help you.
Oh man, well at least now I know where to get help. Okay, thanks, bots. So moving to the new factory, there were a couple things that were a little challenging because with Series 1, Series 2, everything working together, everything being modular in a sense where, the muzzle flashes work with all the rifles and pistols, and everything fits in the holsters and that sort of thing, backpack holes, peg holes for the feet. I said to the new factory, I'm like, listen, everything has to work together now with Series 3, which is going to be tough because it's not the same tooling. I sent them every single item we've done so far so that I can reference certain items and say, hey, this has to work with this aspect of it. So there are also things that we tooled at the new factory that have been tooled at the old factory. So like the pistol that comes with Condor is the same pistol that comes with Eclipse, but it's two totally different molds, but it's the same exact pistol. But, they like, this is Pandora's pistol, it accepts the muzzle flash. This is Kill Switch's rifle, accepts the muzzle flash. So the same thing with the magazines. All the magazines have to be the exact same size so that magazines from Series 1 can work with magazines from Series 3 and vice versa. The stands, the pegs are the exact same size, Series 1 to Series 3, even though it's a different tool. Backpacks, as you can see, the backpacks have to fit, and they have to fit perfect, because everything has to work together. So no, the pistols are not smaller, because if you had a 9mm Hellcat in my hand and you put that 9mm Hellcat in my wife's hand, it would look bigger, but it's the same scale between the two of us. So,
and I just wanted to highlight Scott Hughes' comment. Firearms are perfectly in scale to real life examples. And I won't say what Scott does for a living, but he is an expert. Like, he is an expert in that field. So thank you, Scott.
Is. But also, listen, that's because I have an expert on my end, besides myself, knowing firearms. But Mark from Mark II Designs, that you guys know, he does all of my weapons. And man, does he pay close attention to he puts so much care into these weapons, these tiny, tiny weapons. You would think he was doing the weapon like real scale. He just did a bunch of sculpts and prints that he sent to me today that I have to get comments on, but man, they look awesome. And it's like, he'll send me stuff and comments he'll make are the same comments that I will make, but he kind of beats me to it. So like, there were some things that he knew were a bit too big, and he's like, hey, I think we should make this smaller. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, we should make that smaller. So it's nice when you're on the same page with people working on this stuff.
Yeah, Mark, awesome guy. That guy.
Yeah. All right. Oh,
real quick,
this
Tony
guy again.
I know, he's annoying. He says that cross sell is fire, best one yet.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Get out.
Jim Largo wants to know, Bobby, if you put together an Action Force source book with all the excellent box art, we'll buy it.
I've been toying with those kind of things, but I think I want the line to get a little bigger, a little deeper. And, the more we do, the more we can pack into, a giant coffee table book.
Nice. GJP3, any chance of more comic reissues? Rock on, Bobby. Thank you, GJP3.
Not at this time. However, I'm working on putting together a trade paperback for the first 8 issues. So that's probably going to be the next thing that comes. Still working on the comics and what's next for them. I've been very honest with you guys about how I lose a ton of money on the comic books. Comics is a weird business, kind of a dying business. They're important to do, but at this time, I think it's important to not keep taking a loss on something and evaluate and see where we can get the comics, if we can get them in a publisher's hands. So still trying to work on all that. But I think the next thing we're going to do is do a collected trade of the first 8 issues.
All right.
All right.
Real quick.
Sure.
One more from, actually, there's a few more. The Canuck, thank you. He says, so if we ever get to the point that we can't use plastic in the toys, does that mean you will be making these out of wood or metal? Asking for a friend.
I think I've said it on our 3POA podcast. That is every other Saturday. Our next show is this Saturday evening, so tune in for that. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the 3POA. I think I said it on there that I find it funny that you went plastic-free packaging, but the thing inside is plastic that is going to last way longer in a landfill than the plastic that would have been in the packaging. So, hey, nice PR stunt. You know?
Yeah. Thank you, Canuck. Yesterland Toys, Neil, thank you once again. Are you doing sea and air figures at some point?
Yes.
And thank you, Neil. GJP3, any chance we could ever see the return of Baron Ironblood? Loving the line and where it's going. Keep doing you, Bobby.
Thank you. Most likely not. Tony is obviously Desert Rat, which is a throwback to the original line, and Steel Brigade is I own Steel Brigade now, so but it's little nostalgia throwbacks like that, Sergeant Slammer. But I think the line has gotten very big and it has a great following now, and it keeps getting bigger. And I think the important part of this line is the new characters and the new stories that I'm creating. And I think I'm just going to keep focusing on that. So, let other people, do the nostalgia stuff. I said it, on one of our shows that Classified's doing nostalgia and knocking it out of the park. Action Force is doing fresh, modern, and we're knocking it out of the park. And I think that's why the lines complement each other. So I think we're going to keep doing what we're doing. I'm not saying we're never going to do, the nostalgia stuff, obviously, things like with Tony. But it has to be right. Not the biggest Baron Ironblood fan, but it's definitely not on my radar. Sorry.
All right. Gwei, I think I said that right. He says, love this line, love the diversity, love the playability, and Kit Bash ability. Made up word. LOL. Thank you.
Hey, man. It's all good. I make up words every day. And thank you for digging the line.
That is a truthitude. The made up word. See? All right. Cato's collection. Thank you very much. He says, when will we be able to scan ourselves as figures? I need a fat, lazy Cato with guns. Hey, man.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Check this out, huh?
Did you get one? Oh, no, that's the one that Mark did, right?
That is the one that Mark did.
Oh, that looks good.
Alex painted up battle damaged.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. I still have to paint the one you gave me.
And then, are we caught up? Jeez, this thing jumps. Well, we'll come back to super chats. Continue on with the figures.
Yeah, geez, guys, we're halfway through the show. All we did was super chats.
And
you guys are awesome. I always said Action Force has the best fans. Next up is Kill Switch. She looks amazing. Again, chock full of accessories. There's her Randy Green art.
Nice.
There's her back. She has an awesome story. You can read it on her file card on Valaverse site on the product page. But when I came up with her backstory, she has a really good one. She's a good one. She's not my favorite, but she's really, really close.
I saw a ton of excitement when you posted pictures of her on Facebook.
Yeah. And I'm very excited that people are really appreciating like her face sculpt. Like they're saying that's like one of the best ones in the line. So Yeah, it's a good one. Thank you for the people that think that. Here we have female Steel Brigade Trooper, the alternate gold head. And for those of you you've asked before, and I'm pretty sure I answered, but no, the female head does not fit on the male figure, so you can't get an easy out for getting the Kickstarter exclusive head. Sorry, but the female head is for the female figure. So
yeah, they got to be slightly smaller.
Yeah, they are slightly smaller. And speaking of slightly smaller, I'll touch on this now. I was going to touch on it when we got into the figures. But when I got those gray figures in, I had looked at those things for days, and there were some things that were bothering me, especially on the head sizes. And if you said something was off by 3 or 4%, that doesn't seem like a lot. But when you're dealing with action figures, it kind of is. And I felt like all the heads on the females needed to be decreased 3%. And the factory was like, listen, that's going to, you're going to have to retool those heads. Like, we're going to have to scrap the old molds, and we're going to, have to adjust the model and then retool the steel, which is, I think it was $11,500 to retool those heads. And I said, do it, because at the end of the day, it is incredibly important to make the product right. And yes, there's always going to be, no figure is going to be perfect. There's always going to be things you can tweak, or, a production run. There could be, issues during production with, plastic integrity or that kind of thing. But you want to get to the best point possible when you still have the time. And I said, we have the time in the schedule. I want the heads retooled. And that's what we did. So it was very important to do that, because especially on the female troopers, like when you had Pandora with her scarf and her vest, it wasn't like someone like me, like I'll notice it because I'm so married to these products. Like, you guys probably would have got it, and you wouldn't have noticed, but I noticed right away. And then the female troopers, because they don't have gear on, I noticed the size, and I said that's where we have to, change the size, greatly. So we did that, and then these new samples have the smaller heads. So that's a big change we made, but it was an important change to make. So
that's a lot of talk about head.
A lot of talk about head.
Toy Connections, thank you for the super sticker, man.
Thank you, Toy Connections.
Shout out to Ken. Geraint Horton. I hope I said that right. Thank you very much, New Zealand. Any update on international orders from the Valaverse site? My understanding, international was stopped due to COVID.
Yeah, we opened them up quite a while ago. We opened them up during Series 2. So you can order internationally through Valaverse.com. Awesome. So the way it works on the site is it calculates the shipping costs directly from USPS. So we don't control what that is. It goes by the the weights and the size of the products. However, WooCommerce, part of my website, they were having issues with the plugin for USPS, and because USPS is saying it's a WooCommerce issue and WooCommerce is saying it's a USPS issue, it's been taking a while to kind of iron that out. So I think the shipping rates are not entirely correct when you order multiple items. If you order one figure, it's accurate, but if you order multiple items, I think it's a bit too high, and we're trying to fix that and get that down. So hopefully I'll have that wrapped up this week.
Cool.
All right. So next up, everyone knows she's my favorite. We have Pandora.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, she's so good. Wait do you see her out of her package?
Nice.
But man, I couldn't wait to see Randy's version of Pandora, because it's kind of one of those things where, because she's my favorite, and the artwork that I did for her, some of my favorite artwork. So when someone else does her, I'm like, I hope you're going to do it good. And man, he made her look awesome. She looks great. Yeah.
Very cool.
And here we have the female troopers.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Delta.
digging that blue one.
What'd you say?
I'm digging the blue one, or the black one.
Black one. Yeah. The
black
special
one.
ops.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. That's their artwork. Randy's artwork. So yeah, these are good ones.
Awesome.
All cards on the back. All right.
James Salzberg, thank you. He wants to know any chance for battle damaged helmets or gear.
Maybe we'll see how this bloody Pandora does. And listen, my list of things that I want to get in the line is huge. So, we'll get to everything eventually.
Cool. The Considerate Juvenile, thank you. He says my girl Kill Switch in red color choices are dope.
Listen, so that wasn't my idea to put her in red, actually. That was Andrew Kramer's idea. Andrew Kramer, for those of you who don't know, he did all the coloring work on the comics. He helps put the comics together. He also colors all of the artist's artwork that comes in. So he colored Randy's artwork. And we had Kill Switch in I think it was issue 4, the Sergeant Slaughter issue.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, hey, can I, this character, can I come up with the color scheme? I said, hey, man, go right ahead. And he put her in a quasi red outfit. And then I took that and then I used it as a base to, when I was working on her figure. So
nice.
It's cool that Andrew's color scheme got in on the figure.
All right. Thank you. Considerate Juvenile. Analog Toys. No.
Again. Oh, God.
Bobby, can you make Ryan's head slightly smaller?
Stop it, Tony. Please. Stop it.
Thanks, Tony.
That guy's exhausting. Try doing a podcast with him.
He's like a toddler. Bobby, 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 Bobby.
100% like a toddler. Yeah.
A drunk toddler.
This show turned into super chats and ripping on Tony.
Yeah. All right.
We're caught up?
No. You want to do a couple more?
Yeah, let's catch up.
All right. Cornelius McGillicuddy, thank you. He says, Bobby, why did the first Kickstarter fail? Why did the second one fund? What advice do you have on running a successful crowdfunding effort?
Thank you for the super chat. Not really part of Series 3, but I'll answer it anyway. The first one failed for a number of reasons. I think that I was too ambitious coming out of the gate with it. I think I started it with, I think it was, the funding goal was way over $100,000 and it was 5 figures and it was too ambitious for a line just starting out. And also I don't think the fan base was ready for 6-inch military yet. Cause at the time, I don't know if they didn't announce Classified yet.
No.
Classified hadn't been announced yet, hadn't been shown, right? So I was like the first one out of the gate with 6-inch military. So I'm not sure if people were ready for it yet, ready to switch over because, military fans, Joe fans are so ingrained in 3 3/4 because we've had it that way for so many years. Whereas Legends collectors, Black Series collectors, they have gotten into 6-inch. So it was, they understood that scale. Not they understood it, but it was like they were used to it. So, there was a number of reasons. Also, it's like I could have marketed it more so that when the second one funded, it's because I got a bunch of influencers to review prototypes, samples, and that helped spread the word and get more eyes on it. I lowered the funding goal by lowering the amount of figures. So instead of 5 figures, it was 3 figures, which helped greatly because the way the Kickstarter mentality is that a lot of people will wait and they'll wait until it's funded because they're like, well, I don't want to get in on it until it's funded, which is a very, I don't want to ridicule and I don't want to say it's a stupid mentality. I want to say it's an odd mentality because if the project does not fund, you don't get charged. So you pledging does not charge your card. It's like Amber Heard. I pledged. You didn't really give up the money, though. So you didn't really donate the money.
But I said I was gonna. I said I was gonna.
I said I was gonna.
Said it.
I said I was gonna.
It's the same.
So, it's the same thing. So for those of you that do that, it really doesn't make sense and it doesn't help projects. It hurts them. You waiting because you're waiting for it to fund. Okay, well, put your money in and pledge. It'll charge you at the end.
Adam
And
from
if it
Toy
doesn't
Migos.
fund, it doesn't charge you.
That's
Like
right.
that's the thing. So having a lower fund goal, I'm a firm believer that Kickstarter should, no matter what you do, have a fund goal under 100,000. Because I think when people see that the triple digits, it scares people away a little bit. So I think I put mine at like 99,000.
Adam from Toy Migos calls that being a butthole. I'm
What?
gonna wait till the end of the campaign to fund. You know,
Listen, people are entitled to do whatever they want. However, I'm just telling you, it hurts pride. What you're doing is not helping what you're trying to accomplish. You want the thing to fund, but you're saying I'm not gonna, back it until it funds. Okay, well, you want it to fund, but by you waiting, you're not helping it fund.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just gonna let other people do the work for you and then jump in later. What if it doesn't fund? What if it doesn't fund by the exact amount that you would have pledged? So, but yeah, so it funded the second time. I did way more marketing, pushed the line a lot heavier, and here we are. And the line's huge now. So long comment. We got to get back to Series 3 because people came to see this stuff. Let's just take a break from Super Chats, and we'll get into this next one. We have Valaverse.com exclusive Bloody Pandora. I know a lot of people have been asking when this one is going to go up for sale. She will not go up for sale until Series 3 comes in and I fulfill all the Series 3 pre-orders, and then we'll put her up as an exclusive. I know people are like, well, listen, well, then I got to pay for shipping twice. It's like, listen, I'm giving you a really good deal on the flat rate shipping. So I lose money on the shipping. So this is how we're doing it. We're waiting on it because I want to fulfill the orders for Series 3. This will be part of an additional rollout later on, but she'll come, not too long after we fulfill the orders for Series 3. But she will make it. My artwork on the side, also my artwork on the back. So I'm a little biased that she's my favorite, but also my artwork on the back. And there's just blood everywhere.
That's cool.
This is a cool figure.
It's going to stand out in my mint and box collection for sure.
Yeah. This is gonna be a good one. It's this line is all about taking it out of the box, letting this figure breathe. But there are some you want to keep in the package. However, I would probably encourage you to buy 2 of these, or take it out of the package and keep the box. Like cutting that tape isn't gonna do anything. Cut the tape, pull the figure out, put it back when you want to put it back. But yeah, this is a great package. I wanted this package to stand out, and I said to Troy, I said, I just want an all white package with blood all over it, and that's what we did. Even if you could see the inner sleeve in the back has blood all over it as well. So blood everywhere on this one. Good one. All right, so that's the package samples. Now we are going to get into the out of the box figures. So let me get my camera set up here again because it backed out on me.
All right, you do that. And real quick from Drew G, thank you very much. He says, watching 2 Cent Toys today got me thinking, what are the chances of you making a character with a compact bow better than the one with Storm Shadow?
There's a good chance. It's on my list. I wouldn't mind. I'd probably pick a nice crossbow first, but compound bow would be cool. It's on there.
Cool. Thank you, Drew. And Mr. Grudge, thank you very much for the super sticker.
Thank you. All right. So I got my camera set up, and we have the loose figures here. So thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
For the technical assistance on that one. So as you can see, we've got all the ladies here. Move this without it losing connection. So here are all the ladies that we are going to go through. I'm going to tell you guys about what I think of them, areas that we are going to improve and change, comments that I made, so you guys can kind of see where we're at with these and that sort of thing. They're about 80% there. As I said, these FEP comments. An EP comment, which again, I said we kind of skipped because, we're going not faster, but we had the packaging ready. So we skip right to FEP. An EP comment is never right. there are always tons of comments to make on these. FEP comments, sometimes they'll get the majority of them. Sometimes you have to make repeat comments and things like that. But overall, we're really close on these. And, I'll show you exactly what I'm thinking with some of these figures. So I'm going to pull some of these out, and I'll start with Eclipse in the back. So here is Eclipse. Let me get some more light on her. Hold on one second.
All right, while you're getting light, we'll go to Timothy Hans. Thank you very much. He says, I was going to be the sexiest army builders ever. What?
What?
I think he meant those were going to be the sexiest army builders ever. Thank you, Timothy.
Yeah.
We get it. Sexy army builders.
All right, so here is Eclipse. Let me just pull the rifle out of her hand so you can get a good look at her. And I'm also going to pop off her alternate head and put her regular head on. So here she is. She looks great. The inkjet on her face came out fantastic. They are missing the blue deco on her hair clip. So that's one of the comments I made. The weathering on her armor came out fantastic. She looks really good. There's a few things, some spray mask tightening up on her torso that we have to do. We are still tweaking the closures on the vest, because the closures on the vest are very important. So we're still working on those. But overall, she is really, really nice. Weathering on the shin guards on her boots there. She came out fantastic. Here again, that pistol I told you that's Condor's pistol, which we had to retool. Same thing with the holster, because the holster has to be the same as that one as well. Same thing with the knife. That's the same, series 1 and 2 knife, but we retooled because it's more like the signature Action Force team look.
Nice.
She has her removable mags and her mag pouches. And we made these vests for the Series 3 figures. The connection points are unique to each other, so that like Pandora's holsters could attach here, or the knives can attach here. So everything's kind of modular for Series 3, so we can interchange them and make new characters with new gear just by swapping a few things around.
Cool.
So there's Eclipse. For those of you that probably already noticed,
just to clarify for the audience.
Yeah.
Those mag pouches are glued in.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
they are glued in. They're not modular in the sense that you can take them off and swap them out. They're modular in the sense that we made them so that they can be attached, glued to other figures during production.
Right. Cool.
So yeah, some of you probably noticed that she does not have the pattern on her scarf or her alternate head. We are still working on that. That pattern is a very intense pattern, and I think the factory would much rather me go with just the plain tan. But I think the pattern is important. She always started out that way, so we're making sure that we get the pattern. We might have to simplify it slightly, but we're gonna have some sort of pattern on here. 99% sure. But so that the blue that's on the trim is the same blue that should be on her hair clip there. So
gotcha. Cool.
That is her. But she looks great with the alternate head on also. You can see great cool. Alternate head. I love this alternate head.
That's cool. Yep. Dig that.
Yeah. Really nice head. All right. They have the same Action Force stand, same gunmetal stands. She's got all her hands here.
Same hands that the male characters come with?
Same options for hands. You have 2 fists, 2 C grips, 2 triggers, and 2 holding hands.
Cool.
Next up, we have female Steel Brigade. So she has probably the least amount to fix on her. You know, a few things on the torso, some spray mess, things that we need to tighten up there, but overall she looks great. There's some of the heads are still a little loose, but that's fine tuning that really goes up until the very, very start of production. So that's a very common thing. So her belt's kind of stuck
Awesome.
up there. Same vest as Eclipse. The mag pouch is there. She's got her Steel Brigade emblem there, and she comes with the alternate. Another thing, you know, it's like things like this, like, hey, the you know, the ball joint has to be the same color as her neck. So things like that, little comments like that needs to be made along the way. But here is the Steel Brigade Commander head, which I know everyone wants one.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yep.
Do you need at least one squad with the female commander?
What was that?
I'm gonna need at least one squad with the female commander.
Right.
Yep. Very cool.
There's the goggles. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tab that hangs off the goggles, a tiny bit of detail that shouldn't have been painted, but they painted that. So it's like little things like that we need to iron out. But you know, it's like they got weathering on the back of her vest armor there. You know, it's on her knees and her boots. Like she looks really good. She looks fantastic, and these colors match to the Series 1 Steel Brigade.
Nice.
So they have to, you know, they have that figure on hand because I sent it to them. So everything has to match and be exact so that when they're standing together, everyone looks good.
Real quick from Keith Knight. Thank you very much. He says, hey, chaps, love this channel. Love you guys and love these figures. That's all. As you were.
Awesome. Thank you, Keith. And next up, we have Kill Switch.
Dope.
Man, she is good. She's so good. She looks so badass. Like,
yeah,
you know, she's going to be, if you guys didn't get her during the pre-orders, man, you're going to have to get her when we put her back in stock. She's going to be the sleeper of the line. She's got fantastic colors, fantastic head sculpt. Her inkjet came out fantastic. Her hair looks really, really nice. You know, everything on this figure looks really, really good. But minor stuff that we had to comment on her for. But overall, she looks, you know, she looks fantastic.
Oh, I like the paint on the Maxim 9.
Yeah, I want, you know, with her, you know, it's like when you're doing the figures, you're kind of sitting there and you're like, sometimes you'll look at a figure and say, it just needs a little something. What does it need? And you don't want the figure to be too muted or too monotone. So I was like, I found like this light gray that I ended up adding to her figure. And it like, you know, the mags are light gray, the Maxim's light gray. And it worked perfect. It was like that nice kind of touch of a different color that she needed to make her perfect. But man, she's a cool figure. I can't wait to do some alternate versions of her. She's a great character. And that red's awesome. But again, just like Series 1, you can pop the torsos off and, you know, interchange them around. So I've been loving seeing what people have been doing with the Series 1 and 2 figures. Like I saw someone do a combo the other day and I was like, wow, that's a really good combo. I'm going to do that one myself because it looks so good. But I'm already thinking about combos that, you know, I can use the red torso for. So
yeah,
it's going to be fun.
Yeah, that pops on the shelf, man.
Yeah. But she has 2 rifles. She's one of the rare figures that has 2 rifles. Again, this same magazine works with all the Series 1 and 2 stuff. So she's kind of a sniper. So she has the VSS sniper rifle along with her G36.
Killer.
And then moving right along, I'm going to do the Pandoras together. So we're going to go into the troopers first, the special ops and the Delta troopers.
All right.
So just like the male figures for Series 1, you get the offerings of a Caucasian and African American heads to swap in and out. They also come with, all the same interchangeable hands, and they come with figure stand. So same offering. Oh, and they come with one of these rifles, or small arms. So right out of the package, you have a figure that's sort of ready for battle. Not much needs to be changed on these figures. The African American inkjet came out like perfect, but then the Caucasian one is a little pixelated, so they need to dial that one in a bit. But other than that, maybe some minor paint mask stuff on the darker green. But that is a really good figure. And then the special ops, there's no deco besides on the face, so there was nothing we really needed to do on them. Same thing with the inkjet on the Caucasian versus the African American head. So that's the troopers. And then I'm going to switch screens for a minute because I got a couple comments about sizing for the females. And I talked about this during the first stream where we looked at the test shots about how, the classified line, the females, I felt their females were too small and too skinny, like height-wise and mass-wise. When you look at the classified, like Lady J and Scarlet, while they're great figures, like the great looking, when you compare them to the male figures, they look like teenagers. They have very, very skinny arms and they're very, very short. And when you look at Roadblock compared to Spirit should be like a 6'1" guy. Roadblock is over 7 feet tall, which that wasn't the case. So he's way too big. And then when you take Lady J, who's too short, and you put her next to Roadblock, it looks like two different like scaled lines of figures. So I wanted our figures to look real, and I wanted these strong female characters to look right standing next to the male figures. So I did a nice size comparison for you guys that I'll share right now, showing the two Delta troopers. So Ryan, you can see that on your end, right?
Yep.
Okay. So here we have the male and the female. So as you can see, the male who's about 6 foot, 6'1". The females are about 5'8", 5'9". So very realistic proportions on these females compared to the male figures. And as you can see, they're shorter and look realistic, but don't look like, skinny teenage bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think that's a good scale.
Yeah,
between the two.
So that's a quick one for you guys to see how they all look together. So now that that's out of the way, we will get into my favorite figure in the line. So I'm going to go back to my camera view. Thank you, Ryan.
Yep.
And here she is. Oh, she looks so good. She looks so good. She was the first one I pulled. Like, they must have known when they sent me the box because they put her figure like on top. So when I pulled it all out, she was the first one I saw. They're probably like, oh, he's got to see this one first. But she came out amazing. But also she needs the most work out of everyone else. I don't know why that is, but it's minor stuff. Don't worry, guys. We'll fix all of these things. Her tattoo here, when you turn it, you can see where it cuts off on the shoulder. And because they apply the tattoo on the two parts separately, I told them, I said, when you apply it to the shoulder, extend the tattoo down so that when you turn it, you don't see it stop there. You see it continue down. So there's a more continuation of the tattoo. The tattoo on the back of her head just needs to be cleaned up just a little bit, but it looks fantastic. Her inkjet is so on point.
Wow.
Her face looks great. Now,
that
originally
really
on the
good, man.
Master, what were you saying, Ryan?
I said that looks really good.
Yeah, she came out amazing. Now, originally on the Paint Master, I had her scars painted pink, but they didn't paint the figure. And at first I was like, "Ooh, they gotta paint the figure." But then I started thinking about it. I said, when you have scars, they're not really pink. They're kind of like flesh tone, like the same as your face. So I looked at, there's an actor from, Sons of Anarchy. You guys have seen him. I forget his name. He's been in a ton of Guy Ritchie movies, but he has a real life Glasgow smile on his face. And I look back at him and I'm like, yeah, the scars aren't pink, So I think I like having the scars not painted. You could still see the scars because the detail's there, but I don't think we're gonna paint them. So, but they'll still look really good. Her hair,
still see them for sure.
Yeah, you can still see them. She's missing the green on her earring. She has a little gauge in her ear. The hair is slightly too bright. So if I had the Paintmaster head next to me, the Paintmaster should be about 2 shades darker of orange. So it's a little too fiery right now. She needs to look a little more natural. But here you can see she's got her double pistol holsters on her vest here. She's got her knife on the back, her Kuma protector, which I have a real life one over there on my side table, which I've shown you guys. But that knife is prominent in issue 7. Hopefully you've all read it and know her backstory and why this knife is so important.
Unique to her, that knife?
Unique to her. Yeah, that knife's unique to her. I mean, I'm probably not going to give it to any other characters. Her wrists are slightly loose here. The hands come out easy, but I think they just need to add a little bit of material just to make them a little stiffer. All the joints on the figures are great. The drop downs work fantastic. All the figures perform really, really well.
Nice.
Yeah, figures are good. Heads are a little loose on the figures, but that's fine because that's an easy thing to dial in. She's got the scarf that comes off. You can get this look out of her. And I'll take her vest off so we can see her tank top torso.
Real quick from Timothy Hans, thank you. He says, yes, I meant those. It was a crowded restaurant and my talk to text picked up the background noise. Oh, gotcha, Timothy. Thank you.
All right. So here she is. Tough chick.
Yeah.
She would mess some dudes up.
Is that CrossFit physique?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. She's great. The one thing I did ask the factory about adding on, I just recently got the classified Storm Shadow, which is a great figure. Tony was right that it's probably one of their best figures. Really, really nice figure. But on the wraps on his hands and on his shins, they have some dry brush, some weathering. And I was like, you know what? I missed adding that onto the figure. So we're going to dirty these up a little bit and add some dry brush to them. So that was another one of the comments that I made for her.
Nice.
Boots are nice. What other? She's got her hands. She's got her scythe. She comes with that MP7.
Cool.
So that's Pandora. My favorite. I love her.
Love it.
Yeah, she's good. She is good. Now we are going to get into the other version of her, which I said before needs the most work, but it's also kind of funny. I'll show you guys how things happen in product development that are funny things. But sometimes the factory. Remember, guys, we're in America. Factories in China. There is a language, difference there, and sometimes your comments might not translate well all the time. So here is bloody Pandora. See, blood all over her. But if you'll notice, something wrong with her vest and her torso. It looks like her tank top's not painted all the way, and her vest is missing some paint. So what happened was, when I made the Paint Master, because she's just the regular version of Pandora, just with added paint, blood splatter on her, I didn't fully paint the torso because I kind of, I'm not saying half-assed it, but to save myself some time, I didn't paint the spaghetti straps on her torso, on her tank top, because I made the comment to them that the bloody version is the same as the regular version. Just the Paint Master is just to show the location of the blood splatter. So I basically gave them a Paint Master that looked like this, and just did the blood splatter. So they took it very literally, and they did it just like that. And the same thing with the vest. I didn't paint the straps, and I just painted the blood, and they took it literally. But we've made that comment. Joe, talk with them. Everyone understands now that it should be this version just with the blood all over it. However, it is kind of funny that they took it, a bit literally, and made the torso exactly how my Paint Master looked. So sometimes they do that. Like, well, the Paint Master was that way. We have to follow exactly how the Paint Master goes. But we ironed that out, and that's being fixed now. Also, we're going to add more blood to her. On my Paint Master, there was much more blood on her face. There's some, but there was more like on her cheek and stuff that I had added. I want to increase the amount of blood on her arms. I also want to add blood to her, her upper thighs there. And then her stand has blood on it as well, but there should be more, and it should be brighter.
Nice.
So there's that. Her scarf should also have blood on it. They were missing the blood on that. And her knife and her scythe should also have blood on the blades, which they missed. But all of her alternate hands have the blood on them as well. So
very nice.
Yeah. So she's covered. But yeah, that's her. I mean, listen, funny things happen, but overall, I'm happy with the direction we are going in, and the bloody variant. When we do this again, maybe we won't do a live stream for the FEP 2 samples, but I'll show some pictures of the improvements that we made, so you'll be able to see her version with the painted tank top, looking accurate. Obviously we're missing the tattoos on her as well, but she will be corrected, and she will look just as good as her.
And the torso articulation, no ab crunch, but you have the go ahead and show it.
Same articulation as series 1 and 2 figures. So right. You have the rocker, the double rocker, so a rocker at the waist, and then a rocker at the chest as well.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, there and there. And I'll show you on the trooper. So you have her there, and then there. Yeah. And no butterfly joints on the females, but that was done deliberately because with female figures you have a smaller area in the shoulders, and I'm not knocking them. I'm just pointing out a fact. The butterfly joints on the classified female figures do not work. So they're there kind of for no reason. And I thought, well, I'm not going to, add articulation that isn't functional. So
yeah,
we just cut in, and I'll show you guys her holding the pistol. Let me just change some hands out real quick.
Those butterflies that really don't add anything.
Yeah, they don't
to the range.
And again, I'm not trying to knock them. I'm just saying that, listen, there's no point in having articulation just for the sake of articulation. It has to be functional articulation. And a lot of the butterfly joints on the classified figures don't function as well as they should.
Mm-hmm.
But these female figures, we also made the sculpt, and so that when they're holding a pistol, you can hold it in a battle grip, and you can hold it cross body. Just give me a second here. Without butterfly joints.
Cool. Very nice.
So see that?
Yep.
See how you can hold pistol grip with two hands without butterfly joints?
Awesome.
That's how we did it. So wasn't trying to be lazy. It was just trying to do it right. And, you know, if the figure could not hold the pistol in a pistol grip without joints, we would not, or I would not have done it this way. But the fact that it could allowed us to not have the butterfly joint.
Yeah,
So,
if you can get the range with less cuts in the sculpt, it's always better.
And you get away with it on females because, again, with the breasts come out here, but then the shoulders always come in a bit. So you're able to get that natural motion across the body.
Yep. Lots of super chats here.
Oh, all right. Let's catch up then.
Tony Robles, thank you. He says, will we get the VSS AR variant someday?
Of course you would ask that, wouldn't you? We'll see. I'll add it to the list of guns that I make Mark do all the time.
Thank you, Tony. Salvator, thank you. He says, love the new holsters with mag pouches, effing mint.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's, I mean, it's one of those things, and Sal, you know this. It's not logical to have, mag pouches next to your holster, because if you're shooting and you drop a mag, you're not going to reach across to your holster side and grab your mag. You want to grab it either from your vest here or from a drop down here. So not totally logical, but it's it's one of those things you can kind of suspend reality for a second and just use it because it looks cool. But I'm glad you noticed, bud.
Jeremy J, he says that figure is crazy cool. Not sure which one he was talking about, but
he meant all of them. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks, man. And ODC, that's me. Thank you very much. He says, loving this toy line, the comics, and the passion. Will we get the classic colors for Steel Brigade or different combinations in the future?
Probably not. That's theirs. This is mine. We'll stay on our side of the fence.
Yeah, makes sense. And then Eric Alfred Abel, thank you. He says, Bobby, thanks for talking to my Marine at Joe Fest and the extras you threw in. I'm a huge fan of the line. She called you the creator, dude.
that was your daughter. Yes, she was very cool to talk to you. Ryan, do you remember? Were you there at the booth when she came by? It was on the last day.
No, I didn't work the booth that day.
A very nice woman came by and she introduced herself, and she was there because her dad had sent her there, and she's an active duty Marine, and it was really cool. She was showing me some pictures of some of the field gear that she has, because she's more of a communications operative.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very cool. And you know what she had? I tell you what, she had a very cool look, just the way she looked, her hair and stuff. I was like, she could have been a character that you pulled right out of the Action Force lore. So it was really cool talking to her, and the fact that she was there for her dad, who's a fan, and she was seeing the line for the first time, and she was really digging what I was putting together. So thank you for sending her, and thank you to her for chatting with us for a few minutes. She was really cool.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric. Jeremy J says, Boot Bobby, no gold head Pandora.
I mean, no gold head Pandora. We can have a gold head Pandora. There's your gold head Pandora.
I think he wants Pandora's actual head spray painted gold.
Oh, no. Stop it. Just stop it.
I hope I didn't miss anyone. We got one from Scuba Pete. Thank you, Scuba. He says, I absolutely love these insider looks at the production process. Cheers with some Blantons, Bobby.
Thank you, Scuba. I wish I had a glass of it with me right now.
And not a super chat, but Thor Anna Costia wants to know when they will drop at Big Bad Toy Store. The,
We'll
the
see. I mean,
female
we're still
figures.
working-
Hold on. The female figures are on Big Bad Toy Store for pre-order.
Yeah, we closed out the pre-orders for Series 3 on Valaverse.com, but they're still up on Big Bad Toy Store.
Some of them have like pre-orders have sold out.
Yes, they have. Yeah, and they were like, "Hey, can we order more?" And I'm like, "Nope."
If you want to know when they're gonna ship from Big Bad, they'll
This
ship
fall.
after. This fall after Bobby ships his.
Yep.
All right, we're all caught up.
We are all caught up. All right. Well, we've gone through the figures. We're all caught up on the super chats. It is 9:40. I think we had ourselves a good show there.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go take advantage of some of these, self-help bots in the chat here. If we don't have anything else to go through.
One thing.
Yep.
And I just put a link in the chat to the 3POA podcast.
Yes.
If you like this stream, they don't happen a ton, but on the 3POA podcast channel, link in the chat right now. Bobby is there with me and Tony every other Saturday, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. So check it out. Subscribe, please.
We have a lot of fun. And guys, listen, if you subscribe to the Valaverse YouTube channel, or if you follow the page on Facebook, if you've been a customer that buys from Valaverse.com and you are not subscribed to 3POA, that is a travesty. So make sure you correct that and go and subscribe to 3POA on YouTube, please.
There it is in the chat right there.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you to everyone for tuning in. These things are a lot of fun. I'm glad I can give you guys an inside look. I love showing you guys, the thought process and, the production process, how it all kind of comes together. I also like showing off ladies. These figures are great. And, I was saying how it was kind of surreal, like with Randy's art on the package. It's also a bit surreal, like even seeing them here, like thinking about how someone asked about the first Kickstarter failing, and it's like how far it's come in kind of only a few years, and to be here like at Series 3 is like crazy. Like, I don't want to sound cheesy, but like, man, I opened that box of these samples and I got real emotional because it was like, wow, like holy crap, man, like this work is paying off and it's all coming together, and the line is exploding and you guys are loving it, and the female figures have come together and they look so good. So it's like
three waves within a year, man.
Three waves in a year. Yeah.
That's a lot for a small independent company. That's a lot.
I mean, it's going to be 4 waves if you think about it with the special
Yeah.
deployment series. So
Yep.
it's going to be 4 waves in a year. Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. It's really wild. All of it, like this movie stuff, the vehicle news that I have coming, is really, really cool. So, yeah, before I start crying, let's get out of here. Thank you to everyone for coming and checking out the stream. Thank you guys so much for all your super chats. You guys are great. Thank you to LaserPants, as always, for helping me with these streams. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Jeremy. Appreciate it.
Jeremy says subscribe if you're into pianists.
If you guys missed it, that was a funny joke from Ryan's show on, what do you call it now? Or the LaserPants Live.
This is LaserPants Live, yeah.
LaserPants Live.
It's when I want to
last
go
week.
live when you guys aren't available. Yeah, right on.
And then I
Cool.
flake out on you,
A lot.
Yeah, I say, yeah, I'm going to be on the show. And then I totally forget. And then I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I can't come on the show now.
Yeah, it's the drinking. That's what
It's
it is.
drinking. It's boxing up hundreds of figures on a daily
Right.
basis and trying
True.
to design figures in my free time and all that kind of stuff, But
All right.
Thank you guys. We are out of here.
Later.